years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. Finally.
Third-generation star Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings him to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. It's Earnhardt.
He's going to do it. He's going to win the race and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. California's Kevin Harvick does it.
You are the 2014 Sprint Cup champion.
The 24-year-old from Dawsonville, Georgia, is about to join his father, Awesome Bill, in elite company. Chase Elliott is a NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Ah! Ring that song, boys! Yeah!
And the 1991 winner of the Daytona 500 is Ernie Irvan, the Morgan McClure Chevrolet.
Morgan McClure Chevrolet honk. Phil's not here yet, but Clean Air Show, episode 24. Got a lot of stuff to go over. I'll be joined here in like 10 minutes by my co-host, Phil. We were supposed to go live on Saturday following WrestleMania, and Phil fell asleep. Phil's not here now, so we're pay deducting him. What's going on, Patrick? How you doing? Welcome to the show. A lot of news these last couple days. You had the Spire Rodney Childers news today. All-Star format announced. Dr. Jerry Petty passing away. All unfortunate stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do here rambling for the next 5 to 10 minutes waiting for Phil, but here we are. I probably could go over the Bristol Cup race in that time because that's about how it was. That is about how it was. We're on Left Turn Colt. Hello, Left Turn Colt viewers. This is your first introduction. Try to see what we can go over while I wait for Phil to get here. He just called me a little bit ago. Said he was just leaving the boat ramp. Gosh, we got a ton here. Talladega this weekend. We'll be live Sunday at, I believe, either noon or 1 o'clock. I haven't talked with Phil yet on that one either. I think we'll be going live at noon for that one, though. Trying to see what we could go over until that time comes. Something that we are excited about, a little bit of news. The 2026 championship race is expected to move to Homestead Miami Speedway. So something that Phil and I have been having a conversation about the last couple of weeks is that if that ever gets announced, we will be like getting hotels and all that booked so we can go. We'll be there all 3 days. That'll be a good time. Patrick, doing good considering it's been 3 weeks since my dad passed. Sorry for your loss, Patrick. But he's in a better place, and I've been doing good even though my dad passed. I'm sorry to hear that, Patrick, but glad you're doing good. I wonder if I could. Let's see if I could do something. I don't know if y'all will be able to hear him, but I can mess with him for a second. I don't know if this will come through on microphone.
Anthony.
Philip. I don't know if this. What's that? Well, you know, I'm just sitting here on Clean Air Show all alone without you.
I'm on my way.
You've got to hurry up, man.
I'm going as fast as I can.
I am taking away pay from you.
You gonna make me pay this time?
Yeah, you'll have to pay this time. I also don't know if this is coming through on the microphone, so.
Oh, okay.
Here's to hoping
All
it
right.
does.
All right.
I reached out to Cody, see if he'd come on here for a little bit, but he never responded.
I am 10 minutes out.
Jeez Louise.
I told you exactly 30 minutes, and that was 20 minutes ago.
You're fired.
Have you even gone live yet?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're live. We're live. We're up to 6 viewers. We're waiting on you, man, because there's a lot we got to go over, and you're not here, and I don't want to go into stuff without you.
All right, I just pressed the gas down a little bit harder.
So instead of going 45, you're going 47.
Well, I have 3 kayaks in the back of my truck right now, so I kind of have to be careful.
Yeah. If it's anything like my fridge, it'll be just fine.
Okay. All right, I'm on the way then. I'll see you in a few.
All right, see ya. Patrick, that is a Prime hat I'm wearing. And actually, when I ordered this thing, it was actually a darker shade of blue. And I'm kind of upset that it's as light colored as it is. It came out way different than what I thought it would. And I didn't think it was going to get here in time for this weekend because Prime's sponsoring Chase this weekend. And it just shipped last week and finally got here. And like I said, I'm just upset with the shade of blue it is. It just doesn't look right. I don't know. That's the risk you run, though, I guess. Well, I appreciate it, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice looking hat, but I don't know, it's just such a light colored blue. Like this shirt that I'm wearing is just your normal blue shirt, and that's the color it looked like on the render on the website, and I thought it was going to come out the same, and it is way far off. But the other one that they released was just a generic looking, just had a Prime logo on it. It's like a tan hat. It just didn't look right. I got the shirt for it too, but I'll probably wear that Sunday on here. I guess we can talk about the Hall of Fame announcements. Phil and I haven't really talked about that together, so I guess we can go over that. The nominees for the Hall of Fame were announced. Greg Biffle, Neil Bonnet, Tim Brewer, Jeff Burton, Kurt Busch, Randy Dorton, Harry Gant, Harry Hyde, Randy LaJoie, and Jack Sprague on the modern era ballot. On the Pioneer ballot, Jake Elder, Ray Hendrick, Banjo Matthews, Larry Phillips, Bob Wellborn. And on the Landmark Award, Alvin Hawkins, Lisa France Kennedy. Oh, I'm going to butcher this name. Dr. Joseph Mattioli, Les Richter, and Humpy Wheeler. So, my opinion, I think Kurt Busch should get in. I think either Harry Gant or Harry Hyde should get in from the modern era. On the Pioneer, Jake Elder, Banjo Matthews. Again, my opinion. One of the two, though. And on the Landmark Award, I feel like you got to go Humpy Wheeler on that one. I mean, it's tough, though. Neil Bonnet's got the same amount of wins as Harry Gant. But Harry Gant's got multiple. That's tough. Gant's got a couple Crown Jewel wins. So does Neil Bonnet. Greg Biffle's a tough one, too. Truck Series champion, Xfinity Series champion, at multiple Cup Series wins. Was really close at a Cup Series title. I don't think people realize how close he actually was to winning a NASCAR championship. I forget what year it was. Patrick, I'd vote for Neil, Kurt, Harry, Gant. But yeah, it's a tough call every year. This year just seems way more tough because we've already been through the standout names, like the names that you see, and then you're immediately like, yeah, they're in the Hall of Fame. Or, it's just this year, I feel like it's really similar candidates. It's hard to narrow it down. Don't see Jack Sprague's name on there and think that he's not a Hall of Famer. A guy won 3 Truck Series championships. This is all of NASCAR. This isn't just Cup Series achievements. Randy LaJoie winning 2 Xfinity Series championships. Harry Hyde, one of the, if not the greatest crew chief to ever live. Randy Dorton, engine builder. Tim Brewer, another great crew chief. Ray Hendrick won over 700 times in the NASCAR modified and late model sportsman series. I feel like the landmark award, anytime a Kennedy is nominated, always gets it. Lisa France nominated this year. It's just tough. It's tough. I agree with you, Patrick. It's a tough call. If you're just joining us, welcome to Clean Air Show. We are on YouTube and our Facebook pages. This week we are live on the Left Turn page. A little rundown of today's show. We'll recap Bristol for the Cup side because we've already gone over Xfinity and trucks on our pre-race show 2 weeks ago. We're going to talk a little bit about the state of NASCAR and just the position it's in and where we feel the series is at as a whole. Then we'll recap NASCAR's return to Rockingham with the Xfinity series and the truck series. And we might do a little Talladega talk. We'll probably save a majority of that for this Sunday's show. This is just kind of a quick little pop-up episode with a lot of the news that came out this week, which is weird because you would think a lot of the news that came out this week would have came out last week during the off week, but I digress there. I was about to pull something up and I forgot what I was going to pull up. Netflix announced the release date for Full Speed Season 2, and then they immediately pulled the trailer down. Patrick, I 100% agree with this. Catherine Legg didn't deserve the hate she gets, but social media, particularly X-Twitter, is rough. Looking back at that, was she going off the pace? 100% she was off the pace. Was she in the preferred racing line? Yeah, she was a lane higher, but yeah. However, there was a definite communication lapse between Swalich's spotter and him. That should have been 100% avoidable. You've got to see a car going that slow ahead of you. At least that's just my opinion on it. I don't think she deserves the hate she's getting for it. I know a ton of people disagree with me on that one, but that was one of those just unavoidable situations. It wasn't as egregious as the Kevin LePage at Talladega, ironically enough, as we come up to Talladega, but I remember what I was going to pull up. So apparently there was an ARCA crash at Rockingham that I missed completely, and the car looks absolutely destroyed on the pictures I saw. I figured I'd pull it up here while I wait. Find it. I don't know. I swear I saw an absolutely destroyed ARCA car from this past weekend, but maybe I saw something that was a little off. Coming from the boat ramp, I got a call at 9:40 that he was going to be running late, and I figured, well, screw it. We'll just go live and wait. What's going on, Tate? Thanks for coming in, man. So now I'm trying to kill time till he gets here. I've been killing time for the last 15 minutes. Was it Colby Evans that put it up? Colby Evans might have put it up, the picture of it. It was London McKenzie. I'll pull the picture up. Oh, look, there's Phil. Welcome to the show, Phil.
I just want you to know it was exactly 30 minutes.
It's about time you got here.
Sorry, dude. The snook were biting, and I got a little hung up.
I just think you wanted to do it to make me squirm a little bit being alone on here.
I know how upset that makes you.
It's all right. I've been talking with Patrick and Tate for the last 16 minutes.
Gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for holding down the fort without me.
Honk.
Hog.
Look
So
at this thing, man. If I can get it to pull up. There it is.
what is that?
That is an ARCA car. I'm trying to figure out how to. I guess that's a little bit better.
Oh my geez.
London McKenzie from the ARCA race. I didn't see that wreck on any of the highlights.
From
But
last week?
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can pull up a replay of it. I've got nothing though.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Look, Patrick said hello.
Nice to see you as always, Patrick.
Tate says that's not a car.
So what have we gotten into so far? Anything?
Oh, I went over the Hall of Fame stuff. I went over what do we go over? Homestead being moved to the championship race, and
Did you
you
do
and
car
I.
24?
I have not done. I've waited for all of this with you.
All right, because I know that I have to introduce a new segment that AJ wants to start off tonight. He's going to get up. It's going to be called AJ's Soapbox.
We'll do that after the Bristol recap because it kind of leads into it. All right, so episode 24 means we go over car 24's history, and obviously Jeff Gordon dominated in the 24 car, but before we can get to him, in NASCAR Cup Series competition, the 24 car has started 1,000 as of this writing, 1,665 races with 64 drivers and has 103 wins, mostly Jeff Gordon, 97 poles, 427 top fives, and 743 top tens. Jeff Gordon drove the 24 in 797 consecutive starts from 1992 to 2015 for 93 wins, third most all time. Gordon raced for Roush Racing in 1992. The car number was originally to have been 46, a car fielded by Hendrick for Greg Sachs for the filming of Days of Thunder in 1989, but was changed after a licensing conflict with Paramount Pictures. The number 24 was selected due to it having little significance in NASCAR history prior to Gordon, which, thank God, Gordon added some history to that. He debuted in the 1992 Hooters 500 with the now iconic DuPont rainbow paint scheme designed by Sam Bass, qualifying 21st and finishing 31st following a crash. Absolutely dominant team in the 90s and 2000s. Gordon and Evernham. Kid had it.
Would you? So let's get into this while we're here. Let's say, who would you put as a vote as a better duo? Would it be Gordon Evernham or Knaus and Jimmy? I think it's two very potent teams. I think that's a hard one to say.
It is a hard one to say, and they were so. It was two different eras.
Yeah,
I would always say Knaus and Jimmy because 7 championships and all the races they ran at a time where all the cars were designed the exact same.
Gordon would have had 7 without the chase. I just want you to know.
Would he have hit 7? He would have won 3 of them. That's right. Yeah, he would have won 7. But I don't know, man. Jimmy won all those championships with Knaus in a time period where literally everything was identical. That's so tough.
See, that's hard for me because where Jimmy and Chad did what they did. I think it was harder back in the day where you had more body tweaking, more. It was more up to the setup and the driver back in the 90s and early 2000s, in my opinion.
How about we just say Hendrick Motorsports and just be done with it?
Sure, I'll go with it. I mean, we don't have any dicks this week?
We're getting there.
Okay, just checking.
After Jeff Gordon retired, Chase Elliott was promoted to the 24.
Oh, there's a dick.
Chase had a bunch of top 5s, top 10s, a couple poles, a bunch of runner-ups in that car. None closer than that freaking Martinsville race, man, with Hamlin. That one still bothers me a little bit. Following Chase, though, and the number reformation at Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron took over the 24, has won back-to-back Daytona 500s in it. A bunch of wins. 2023, he had 6 wins in it. No relation to Jeff or Robbie, Cecil Gordon drove in the NASCAR Grand National Cup Series for 17 years and drove in a total of 449 races. In the 373 of them were in the 24 from 1970 to 1983. He never won and never got a pole. That's what the title of the sentence says. He never won and he never got a pole. Moving on to drivers who have ran the 24, and Phil, get your notes ready. Bobby Allison, 11 starts. Lenny Pond, 11 starts. Bob Wellborn, 8 starts. Morgan Shepherd, 7 starts. Tiny Lund, 3 starts. Butch Gillen, 3 starts. Kenny Wallace, 3 starts. Glenn Wood, 1 start. Curtis Turner, 1 start. Drum roll. Richard Petty, 1 start.
Old Dick Petty.
And Dick Trickle had 6 starts in it.
There's my boy Dick. Dick Trickle. There he is.
Again, if you're new to the show, we have found that a lot of drivers among many car numbers have been named Dick.
Lots of dicks.
A lot of Dick. I'm actually don't worry, Phil. On Sunday, it comes back too.
More dicks on Sunday.
More dick on Sunday. How many do we have on Sunday? Let's see. I got to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. Only one. We only got one on Sunday.
There's one dick.
One dick. We'll get more into that on Sunday. So what's been going on, Phil? I told everybody about how we were supposed to go live on Saturday, but someone fell asleep in the middle of WrestleMania.
My bad.
I texted you at... I don't have to scroll very far from it. That maybe I do have to scroll a little bit farther from it. I texted you at 11:04. How you doing, Phil? My response was at 1:55 a.m. Sorry, bro. I fell asleep. So you missed that. Is that bitch ass behind you?
It was bitch ass. He was delivering me my Taco Bell that DoorDash just dropped off.
Oh, here's a good conversation before we go any further. Is it not a clutch move to order DoorDash while you're on your way home so it shows up within minutes after you get home? It's a clutch move. However, also very lazy because I'm sure you passed Taco Bell on your way home.
Actually, I did in England.
Speaking of local stuff, shout out Bauer Sox Air Conditioning and Heating for displaying our show logo on a couple banners and a couple Power Wheels for their Easter celebration on Saturday.
Love that somebody we knew got one of ours.
Yeah, someone we know got one of ours. I wonder if I can pull up the... I know I sent you a couple pictures of it, didn't I?
I saw it on your Facebook.
I don't want to post anybody's kids up here. That I'm not doing.
Yeah.
But I saw our boy, former guest on the show, Kyle Case, was out there. He had his Sportsman out there. He has a new dent in it.
Okay, so no surprise there.
A little bit of a roll bar poking through the sheet metal.
You'll get that on their big jobs. So did you talk about the big news from today?
I've again, man, I've been waiting on you to get here to say anything.
Man.
Here is our show on a Power Wheel.
Looks clean on there too.
Doesn't it? Look, and then there's our banner.
And let me tell you, I drove by after 6 o'clock and there was still a ton of people there.
There was a lot of people there. I showed up there for a little bit as a show of support. And I got stuck getting out. There were so many people there. I could not get out of the parking lot. So it was really cool, man. It was awesome to see. News from today, Rodney Childers and Spire parting ways.
Man, I don't know. You and I had a conversation about this for about a half hour today. And I
don't know where he goes.
Does he go anywhere?
That's another good point. Does he go anywhere? Every time I think about it, my mind goes right to Brad. Right to Brad Kozlowski at RFK. I really think that's where he goes. Back with the Ford camp. I don't know.
I mean, they're seeing that. Or like Noah.
I'd love it to be Noah, but
earlier.
Like you were telling me earlier, there's no way they split from Drew.
I don't see him and Drew splitting up. I think that's too good of a pairing. The two of them work good together.
Tate, I thought maybe there was a chance, but the fact that Hendrick was a part of the Spire stuff and Rodney literally thanked Rick Hendrick for everything that he did for them while he was at Spire, I doubt that's the case. And the more that I think about it, the more it might have been a Hendrick move. I even told Phil that earlier. I think that might have been Hendrick themselves who said, no, man, we're going to go in a different direction.
And in all honesty, I mean, like I said to you today, what has that team done?
Not much, man.
Hocevar's running good, but that team.
Oh, you're talking about the team as in like the whole race team.
No, I mean like the seven. The seven team. I mean, in all honesty, they haven't done a whole lot.
No, they haven't, man. I'm trying to pull up the standings just to see where Haley is.
Let me look. I got it up right here.
Of course you do. I haven't even gone over Bristol yet. I'm like so
23rd.
23rd, no top fives.
So in points right now, the Spire cars are 19th, 23rd, 25th.
He's got one top 10 this year.
7, 71, and 77. That's it, right? Yeah.
Bristol. I'm sorry. Miami, Homestead. He finished 10th.
I don't know, dude. I
let me get on the let me get on this tangent real quick.
Get on the soapbox.
So Bristol happened, and I sat on this show 2 weeks ago and hammered home that tire wear was going to be, prevalent. It's the main thing you need to be focusing on. They're saying it's worse than last year. You might see a half decent race. 2 spring Bristol races in a row. Everybody was complaining that in practice, tires recording this, that, and the other. What does NASCAR do the night before? Applies PJ1. It's a warmer day the next day, so that the track actually rubbers up. and we get a bunch of follow the leader slot car style racing. And
Absolutely ruined it.
It ruined it. And I sat there after that race ended, and I'm not over exaggerating, and I'm not trying to do this all for show. I literally had the remote in my hand, and all I could do was just with the most dumbfound look on my face, just stare at the TV. And I'm mind blown because, and here's where I'm going to get told that I'm being too negative and I'm always being negative about it. No, I'm being negative because I care about this a lot more than I should. You and I, Phil, you are more up in the upper echelon in NASCAR than I am. You've worked in it, you've experienced it, you've got connections. I'm like way below. So
but at this point though, at this point in my life, I would consider myself more of a fan than anything else.
Right.
But I've seen both sides of it, and like I said to you today, the Xfinity races are some of the best racing I've seen in a long time.
Right. And in this rant that I'm about to go on here, it realistically has no relation to the trucks or Xfinity. I think the racing down in those series right now are better than they've been. Truck series for sure, better it's been in a long time. Xfinity still just puts out phenomenal banger after banger races.
Banger after banger.
Burger after burger. But no, so here's how I'm going to start this. My entire all of the hobbies in my life have pretty much centered around one main one, that being NASCAR, that being racing. Phil, you and I first ever talked to each other, met each other, centered around racing. You had a race car in your parents' garage, and I stopped on my way home not knowing who you were. You and I have been to countless races now together, short track races, late models, sportsmen's, races you've been running in, races you haven't. And you and I have grown to bond around racing.
Mm-hmm.
We started this show because of racing, because of NASCAR, because every Sunday, where are we at? We're on our couches watching the race. My wife, one of our first vacations we ever took as a couple was to Daytona to go watch a NASCAR race at Daytona. It was a great time. The best man at my wedding, Zach, he's going to hate the fact that I even mentioned him on this. He's been on the show before, though. He always said that he always thought NASCAR was just turning left. I took him to the Daytona 500 one year, and since that first one he went to, he's only missed a handful of races that we've gone to. I mean, 3. I think he's missed 3 out of like the 10 we've been to since that day. He's become really in tune with NASCAR and all that. And it's awesome to see. He's even picked a driver. It's great. But to just sit there and watch the product that's not only been handed out just at Bristol, it goes back to Martinsville, it went to Darlington, Phoenix, and it's just not good. The Cup racing product right now is not good. And the perfect change is right in front of them, but I have to sit here and listen to Elton Sawyer sit here and say, well, if anybody's got any ideas or any drivers got anything to help us improve, we're all ears. When drivers have been telling you for the last 3 seasons how to improve this, and you haven't attempted it once. And now I sit here as I see the All-Star format get released, and it comes out that there's a rumor out there that teams were offered to run what you brung, and a couple teams declined it, so they decided to not go that route. First off, I guess I kind of get it. There's some teams that wouldn't be able to compete if it was truly, like that, where they're throwing the rule book out the window. However, if you increase the horsepower on these cars just a little bit, and you take off the underbody on these cars, you would immediately tomorrow have better racing. And I would say at just about every track except for super speedways are their own different animal. That honestly, that whole package itself there needs a complete overhaul. But you would have better racing at Bristol, at Martinsville, at Phoenix, all these tracks that continue to put on dud races with this next gen car. And all it takes is, in my opinion, and I don't know this is actually possible, but I believe it is. If you remove the tapered spacer, it ups these cars to a 750 horsepower package, the racing would be better tomorrow. And it's maybe not an overnight change. However, I've heard some people say that it can literally be done overnight. They can have it ready by this weekend. And not so much this weekend being Talladega this weekend, but you get what I'm saying.
Not up there too.
I don't like the direction that we're going right now. I can't sit here and say that this is something that I can't go to someone who doesn't watch NASCAR and say, hey man, you really got to watch that cup race on Sunday. It's the best thing going. This is supposed to be the premier oval series, well, the premier racing series in this country alone, and they just haven't been it. They haven't been it for a couple years. And I know that I'm sounding like I'm whining and all that, and I get it. You might be tired of hearing me complain about it. I love this sport so much, and to see the direction it's going absolutely pisses me off. Take away the fact that I get frustrated with my driver. If you don't get frustrated with your driver during the season as a fan, are you even a fan? I'm just so upset with the direction all this is going, and knowing that a change is right there in front of them and they don't just do it. They'll sit here and say that the racing product's the best it's ever been. It's not. It's not. And I'm not saying you need to go back to the Gen 4 era. You can just go back to the Gen 6 era. The racing in the Gen 6 era was just fine. Sure, you had your duds here and there, and some races weren't the greatest. You're going to have that. But this thing has been consistently bad for years now. And I want to see it get better so bad. So bad. And I feel like the powers that be, don't get it and don't see how to improve it when it's right in front of them. And instead of trying it at the All-Star race in a couple weeks, we're going to throw in a stupid gimmicky format to it, to where now we're just going to say, we haven't wadded up enough cars yet. Let's just throw a caution here because we feel like it. It is such bullshit, man. It's such bullshit. I'm tired of being fed bullshit. Make the racing better. I don't care about gimmicks. I don't care about stage cautions. I don't care about traction compounds and all that bullshit. I don't care about an option tire because I know when it comes to the playoffs, you're not going to use an option tire. You're just not going to do it. This isn't racing right now.
No.
If the fastest car cannot get up to the leader and pass them, it's a racing problem. Dirty air should not have as much effect on these cars as it does. The fact that the minute you get behind a car, you just can't go around them, even though you're faster, is a problem. And now I see people watching this Rockingham race that happened last weekend, which, by the way, trucks were fine. That was a fine race. Xfinity was an even better race. But I see 80% on a Dirty Mo media poll, 80% of people want to see Cup cars go to Rockingham, and they would bulldoze it Monday if Cup cars went there. The racing would be that bad there with this current car. It would not be good. The only way with the current car that race would be good is if you have trucks and Xfinity run it for the next 5 years and then you let Cup go run it because it's aged the surface enough to where they actually have to drive it a little bit. I'm just pissed off, man. I'm just so pissed off. I've had a sour taste in my mouth since the Bristol race ended 2 weeks ago to now. And I know what's going to happen this weekend, Phil. These cars are going to be running 4 wide, fuel saving, and they're going to sit here and display it like it's the greatest racing you've ever seen and you'll never see anything like this again, when I know that's manufactured because they're fuel saving. There's nobody racing in that situation. I don't know if I got any more. I'm sure stuff will come to me after you start talking, and I'm just going to go right into it. But I mean, that's it, man. I love this sport so much, and the fact that your premier product is so bad, I just, how do you expect to expand it to new viewers if it's what it is?
Here's my big complaint on it. Like, the way the NASCAR tier is set up, the stepping stones. I mean, you're going from truck to Xfinity. You can learn a little bit between those two cars, but then you have to relearn everything to go cup racing. It's not like back in the day where the cars somewhat handled like each other. Now it's a completely different animal. It's not the same. Like, these new guys are coming in, and most of them are struggling. I mean, they're not picking it up, and it's because that car is so much different. It's so hard to adapt to.
Yeah, I mean, case in point, can we put Ty Gibbs in that discussion?
100%.
Ty Gibbs absolutely dominated everything in Xfinity, and he goes to Cup, and it looks like he's running for. Excuse me for pointing this team out there. They don't run well every week. He looks like a Rick Ware car out there.
AJ Allmendinger, another perfect example.
Yeah, that's another great example. It's Tate. Thank you. At least somebody got. At least it's registered with somebody. I hope what piddly old me just said can get to the powers that be and understand that I'm not just speaking. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but there's got to be hundreds that have the same opinion that I do on it. Great example, Tate Gregson. Gregson was in the running for every Xfinity race, including road courses, and goes into the Cup car, and it's just such a different thing. Look at Jimmy Johnson.
Absolutely struggling.
Every time Jimmy Johnson gets into one of these Cup cars, now granted, he's been out of the sport for so long, he went and ran IndyCar. Yeah, things change. Look at the end of his career. The cars have changed so much and have become so different than what they used to run that it's hurting the racing product.
I do want to point something out. Can I just throw something out? So you had me on the point standings earlier, and I was looking over here. So I'm gonna pick out Cody Ware. Okay, Cody Ware is the last car that has run all 9 races. Okay. Cody Ware is 301 points back from the lead in points.
Okay.
Jimmy Johnson is 1 position back from him with 1 start and only 312 points back from the lead.
I understand that NASCAR went into this Gen 7 car wanting to save teams on money. At that aspect, you're also hurting your racing product. And it's just, man, I don't know. The only thing I can say is that I love this sport so much, and I hate the direction it's going. You can't keep doing this. Sport averages on a Sunday upwards of 1 million viewers. It's the most watched non-NFL during NFL weeks. It beats a lot of NBA games in ratings. It beats a lot of NHL matchups in ratings, including in the playoffs. It's the most watched non-March Madness, most watched non-Masters. And when you put on stuff like this is case in point where you lose your ratings and you lose your viewership. And I go back to the Elton Sawyer comment of we're open ears to anything that, any drivers or, members of NASCAR have to say to help us improve this. They've told you for years and years how to fix this. And your just refusal to do any of it is what drives me nuts.
Here's also part of that problem is you have people in place like Elton Sawyer, like even a Chad Little, take over these places. And with all due respect, and I mean with all due respect, those guys couldn't drive a hot nail up a snowman's ass. Like neither one of those guys were drivers whatsoever. And I understand you can not be a driver and understand the sport, but like when they raced, it was a different time. It was a different era. Those cars, you could relate. It was almost the same car on Saturday as it was on Sunday, and I think now they've just out engineered everything. That's the best way I could put it. They've out engineered this car, and this car, they went from with the Gen 6 car where the racing was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, towards the end, the racing was great.
The end of the Gen 6, I thought was the best racing that car ever put on.
But then we go into the Gen 7, and I mean, have there been a few good races? Sure, you could pick and choose, but...
Oh, mile and a halves are bar none the best racing this car produces.
But I could pick 8 to 10 races out of how many races there've been that I'm like, man, that's a good race. That's a good race. That's a great race. I want to say that every weekend. I want to, that is what this sport is about, is entertainment, and not turn your TV on and watch the same cars run around. And I know TV is not doing anything justice, because, we can go to the race and we can watch, and it's different because you can watch what you want to watch at that point.
Right.
But the TV coverage just, it's not doing it either. I mean, that's part of it for me. In all actuality, the TV coverage is lackluster at best. I mean, I can't stand listening to Clint Boyer. In all actuality, like he makes
Ward Burton,
dude. Whole Caterpillar, big Caterpillar Chevrolet,
wall button,
wall button. But Harvick is awesome in the booth, and we've talked about this multiple times. Harvick is awesome in the booth. We talked about it today. Mike Joy is phenomenal. He's been phenomenal, but he's outstayed his welcome.
I look at a guy like Rick Allen on the Dale Jr. Download today going, how does that guy not have a lead commentary role in the sport, at least somewhere?
Right. And Alan Bestwick, there's so many names that were so good back in the day that, this coverage could be great. Instead, we have Clint Boyer out there basically making dick and fart jokes about everything. Like, that's the best way I can put it. He's making a joke out of everything. Like, you're trying to make it funny, trying to lighten it up. At the same time, like, you're making it sound stupid.
Right. Yeah, dude. Patrick, I did that today too. I didn't know that that Allen was not his last name. I thought Allen was his last name this whole time. I did not know it wasn't. I didn't know it was his middle name. And yeah, and also thank you for this. Thank you. I just, like I said, man, I'm just speaking from the heart on this one. It hurts. It hurts to see the direction it's going, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm bitching and all that and just being negative about everything. I don't want to come on here and be negative. I don't want to come here and crap all over everything. I just want this to be so much better than I want it to be as good as I know it can be, and hate that they're doing everything but making it as good as it can be. And like I said, we'd rather just throw gimmicks at it and all that stuff to make it better, and it's not the answer. It's not the concrete answer. Tate, you brought up SVG. The cars that he's running now in Cup are more comparable to what he drove than the Xfinity cars, and look how he's doing. SVG I put in the running for, road courses, but that's about it right now. Trackhouse as a whole hasn't been that great this season, to be honest with you, but Everyone hates this car. I don't think I hate the way the car is right now.
Slight changes, like we talked about today. Slight changes can make it way better.
100%. You saw, and I brought this up to Phil earlier today when we were on the phone. You saw what they did with the COT. They ran it with the way it was for about a year and a half before they took the wing off it, put a normal spoiler on it. They did some changes to the front end. I know they kept the splitter around for a little bit after they brought the spoiler back. Then they went to that weird nose to it. You know what I'm talking about? When they took the little
flat nose.
They went to a flat nose and they took away the actual, like, the little splitter.
Yeah.
Whatever you call them.
Splitter extenders or whatever the hell they were.
And it improved the racing. Those little adjustments improved the racing. Most folks hate the car. Yeah, a lot of people hate the car. And I was never one to sit here and say, no, the car's the problem, and all that. And they need the more horsepower. No, now I'm there. If you give these cars a little bit of off throttle time, it changes everything. And I'm not talking about shifting either. The fact that they shift at Martinsville absolutely hurts my heart. Because again, like I was telling Phil earlier today, the only time you ever heard of a driver shifting at Martinsville was when the tires were so worn down and the brakes were so hot that it was the only way they could get down to speed and still keep up with time. It was a last resort move. Now they're doing it at the beginning of a freaking tire run. It ain't racing anymore, man. It just ain't. It's entertainment now.
It's WWE on wheels.
And case in point with that is that stupid promoter choice caution that they're going to do for the All-Star race. Because again, we haven't wadded up enough, and it's not entertaining the fans because North Wilkesboro didn't put on a great show last year with this car. Maybe if we throw a caution in there with like 40 to go, it'll improve something. I hate sitting here watching races. This is another point I just remembered. I hate sitting here watching races where we're about 50 laps to go, and the lead car, who maybe isn't the fastest every week, even not more so, not even the fastest out of the top three, but I know with 50 to go that unless there's a caution, that guy's winning the race. Because there is no way the faster guy in second or the faster guy in third is going to catch up to him and pass him. It just doesn't happen anymore. They've taken the driving element out of it. They've taken the engineering element out of it.
But case in point, look at the Rockingham Xfinity race. Came down to fuel mileage. Came down to driving the balls off your car. I mean, literally, those guys were just wheeling those things. That track was a handful. And that race was so entertaining to watch.
On a repave. That track was repaved.
First time there in 21 years, I think is what they said for the Xfinity Series.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that race was great, but the Cup cars would be an absolute shit show. It would be boring.
You know what sucks, man, about when we do this show? Is we do it on the Sundays of the Cup races after we watch, Trucks and Xfinity put on hell of a show. Gets you excited for what the Cup race is going to do, and then it's like you're left with a sour taste in your mouth every time. And like, man, I hyped that up for nothing because this was a big old nothing burger. By the way, Rockingham was phenomenal for the Xfinity and trucks. Ankrum with the fuel strategy wins that race. Corey Heim was cutting through the field, but he had to pit, with like 20 to go or whatever. There's no chance for him to catch back up. I mean, that was great. That was strategy. That was racing. Jesse Love won the Xfinity race, but then got DQ'd.
Good.
So Sammy Smith won.
Bad.
And actually, Jesse Love's team lost the appeal today.
I saw that.
But the 8 font, I guess, technically went back to victory lane, even though it didn't.
But he didn't even have to put a bumper to nobody this time.
Right. Right, man. And again, maybe I'm complaining too much, and I'm sure people are going to respond to this with, me complaining, but I just hope it somehow, some way, meets the powers that be, and they see it, and they understand that this is one fan of a million plus regular that watch on Sundays trying to bring attention to the glaring problem that can make this better. I just want it better. And it's never wrong to ask for better.
Not at all.
Whether it be in your personal life or in this, your hobbies. It is never wrong to ask for better. And the minute you stop trying for better, you just need to stop what you're doing. Should never get complacent. And I feel like that's what NASCAR's done. They've gotten complacent. As long as that money train keeps rolling in and they're making money hand over fist, they'll continue with these lawsuits with 2311 and Front Row.
That are getting absolutely nowhere.
We'll continue doing these TV deals. We'll keep reviving tracks that won't put on good races for your premier product. Which, by the way, Kentucky Defenders, I'm sorry, Kentucky did not put on good racing. They put on great restarts and great finishes because of those restarts. But the product as a whole at that track was not good, even in Gen 6.
No.
I do think Chicagoland would put on a good show in the next gen. However, I don't want to see him go back to it and it be an absolute dud and no one ever wants to race there again. But I'm just speaking from the heart, man. Don't hate on me too much for it. I'm frustrated. That's all.
No hate whatsoever. I think you're just throwing out there what a lot of people want to say and just don't or won't.
I bring back Tate up. If you want to somehow clip that, or I'll try to clip it from here. I don't even know when I started saying it, but
it was a rant.
I told you, I warned you earlier. Like, I've got a lot I want to get off my chest here.
I'm just over here eating tacos, bro. You're good.
And let me add a little bit more to it. I think the reason that it hurts the way it does is I look at all the other major sports, and I attend a lot of shit. You know that. I mean, even concerts and sporting events and wrestling events that I go to. I spend money to go to those things, but I don't spend more money on those than I do to go to 3 to 4 races a year and the travel to go to those things and all the planning that I put into those, and then to just be leaving the track disappointed sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not disappointed with the time I had. I'm disappointed with what the main meat and potatoes of what I'm watching was. Except for Homestead. Homestead, I've never left disappointed. The 3 times I've been there have all been great races.
Oh, now it'll be for a championship. Oh.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. And I'm saying all this in pure excitement that I still get to probably, I'm still debating it, but I'm probably going to Daytona in August. I'm definitely going to the night race in September, even though that race is probably not going to be great if everything stays on the current course it's on. And I've made so many friends through all this. I mean, I'd say 75% of my main friend group I made through this, through NASCAR. All these people, Tate and Patrick that come here and comment on the show, like, you guys are my friends because of racing. Tate, prime example. I didn't know Tate until one of our buddies who was racing started racing against him, and I met him and his family, and that was also through Phil too. It just sucks. It sucks because I could sit there and go to the Freedom Factory in Bradenton and watch their super late model races, and go to the Bigley, which is one of the biggest races down here every year. And I can watch Ty Majeski lead 128 of 130 laps, or however many laps it is that he only didn't lead 3 laps of, in absolute dominating fashion. Nobody was coming close to him. Nobody was beating him that day. And just enjoy the racing that's going on behind him. They're 3 wide. They're 2 wide. There's, guys making the outside work, guys making the inside work. The guy who just sent it 3 wide top is coming out of the corner with 2 spots gained. Like, that is pure short track racing. I couldn't care less that Majeski led every damn lap and won. But I tell you what, having the camera focus on Larson as he led 490 laps of 500, and knowing that they're not showing anything else in the pack that's worth a shit going on, for lack of a better word, that's boring.
Especially at a track like Bristol where there's always shit going on.
100%. And we had friends that were there at the race that said, there was racing going on, but even that didn't sound convincing, It's just follow the leader. I know from being there at the night race where it was legitimately follow the leader that entire Saturday night. It's just not good, man. It's not good. That's my soapbox rant. I'm not going to say any more about it.
I've got other shit I can add, but we can save mine.
If you want to go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm good. You covered a lot of it. You covered it very well. In fact, I mean, you and I had already talked about this earlier, and I knew we were both kind of standing in the same place.
I feel like we're mad for the right reasons. When you're mad for the right reasons, it's justified.
But like you said, it's not like we're just fans who don't put effort in. I mean, we have this show. We have, racing is a lot.
We look for opinions. We look for outside opinions, man.
Good or bad. Either way, I like them no matter what. That's part of being a large group of fans, is that everybody has a different opinion. And I mean, it's like having different favorite drivers. I mean, your driver sucks, but I mean, he's still out there in the field. I mean, what do you want me to say?
I always welcome any criticism, man. It's, and any topic you want to debate and discuss, I'm always open for it. I mean, my freaking social media handle's right there. You can talk to me all you want about it, and we'll.
1994 rookie class was the best rookie class ever.
Argue with a wall. I'm looking it up because I don't even remember what the 1994 NASCAR rookie class was. I feel like that was Jeff Gordon, right? Like that was Gordon's year.
It's like Gordon, Burton, Labonte, Kenny Wallace.
We did this once before, I think, too.
Yeah.
Jeff Burton was the rookie of the year that year. Jeff Burton, Steve Grissom, Joe Nemechek, John Andretti, Mike Wallace, Ward Burton, Jeremy Mayfield, Loy Allen Jr., Billy Standridge.
Jeff Gordon was 93, wasn't he?
Gordon was 93. Hang on. I don't think that was the actual standings. No, it was. Jeff Burton, Steve Grissom, Joe Nemechek, John Andretti, Mike Wallace, Ward Burton, Jeremy Mayfield, Loy Allen Jr.
Who'd you say? Well, what?
Well, what?
Gordon was 93. Thank you, Patrick.
Wish I had something I could have shot through the window. Love Warburton, man. Love that guy. 100%, man. But I welcome it. Like, I'm always open for debate and discussions. 32 live viewers right now, man. If you can subscribe to us and on YouTube and thumbs up this video, that would be fantastic for the algorithm here. Follow
Comment.
us.
Put us
Comment.
put us some stuff you want to talk about.
Follow us on X at Clean Air Show. You'll see our logo. That's us. Shoot us a follow there.
We also have a Discord that we'll start posting too. That like we hop in there every now and then and just sit there and shoot the shit.
Yeah, we're a lot of times in the voice channels on our Discord. If you want that, just message me because the message my DMs are open on Twitter or X at the One Lug TV name. Shoot me a message that you want in that Discord, and I will send you the invite link because the invite link expires after so many days. So by the time I put it up, it's already
We get
expired.
in there when we're playing iRacing. Like we just get in there and BS sometimes.
We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, TikTok. Just search us up, Clean Air Show. We're trying to get this thing growing a little bit. We're still up and coming, but we have a lot of fun, man. We have a lot of fun. We appreciate everybody coming out and tuning in tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is the most viewers we've had at one point in this show. So this
sorry
is
I delayed
amazing.
the show.
You're good, man. You're off on Sunday, correct?
I am off on Sunday. We will be live.
We'll be live at noon?
Yeah.
We'll be live at noon on Sunday to preview Talladega, go over everything from Xfinity and trucks. Trucks in Talladega this weekend?
No trucks. ARCA.
Maybe we'll do a little ARCA recap because I know Cletus is running this weekend. Which
have you seen his series they started posting yesterday? $5,000 RV challenge,
dude. The things. So I guess I can kind of get into this a little bit. I was kind of inspired by Cletus on this one. I love all the eyes and attention that Cletus is bringing to the sport as a whole of NASCAR. I love that he's diving all in on racing an ARCA and trying to work his way up the ladder. I hope next year we see him in even more races in this. I kind of hope he takes like a Frankie Muniz approach to all this and just fully dives into it. I'm working on getting a GoPro and doing like vlogs and stuff when we go to the racetrack, when we go to the 500 every year, when Phil and I go to Homestead every year, this upcoming year for the night race. I feel like that's a market that's missed by so many people that you can bring new eyes in that way. I want to start doing it because I love the way Cletus does it. And I think the collaborations he's been doing with Junior and Greg Biffle have been some of the best content out there right now to watch. I enjoy so much what they've been putting out lately.
Yeah, he did that thing. Biffle is with him all the time. Carson Hocevar. He was iRacing with him and doing a bunch of stuff. And
he won the Moon Car race the other night.
Did he?
Yeah. Getting pushed by Hocevar. He won the Moon Car race.
Well, they're doing that $5,000 RV challenge and they started in Charlotte and it's 3 RVs and they have to do different things. Like they drag raced them. They did an 8th mile drag race and then they randomly showed up at Dale Jr.'s house and delivered him swans that Cletus bought him because Dale Jr. couldn't stop talking about Cletus's swans. So they're driving it, dude. Like Cletus is in this freaking 83 Chevrolet Winnebago
with the American flag on the side.
Well, at this point it hadn't been, but dude, this thing's got dual exhaust. It's got headers. Like it sounds like a freaking race car, bro. And like I'm watching this video. Like this is every man's dream. Like this would be, you and your buddies have 15 to 20 G's. You just go out and buy a bunch of stuff and drive somewhere. Like That's cool. Like, and everything he does is entertaining. It doesn't matter what he does, whether it's his airplane stuff, his RC stuff. Like, everything the man does is gold. Like, it sounds like I'm on his nuts, but like, you know,
Big Cletus Nuts guy is
the big
Phil.
Cletus Nuts guy over here. Big Paul Heyman guy too. We need Paul Heyman in NASCAR. We need managers.
And we're getting to that point.
We're getting to that point. Do we need valets? We need managers. We already got the monster girls, so we can't really have too many more chicks in bikinis and stuff.
I just thought of something else to add to this.
Oh my God, here we
soapbox.
go. We're just gonna call this the soapbox edition. We're just gonna sit here and rant tonight, and then
No, it's
Sunday
not really. It's not such a big deal, but like we say back in the day a lot, but back in the day, NASCAR did a great job of promoting their drivers, and they don't anymore.
I mean, it goes back to the conversation you and I have had multiple times about back, even in the early 2000s. Everybody had one sponsor. Everybody knew what car they were looking for every weekend. It's not like every single race they show up to, it's a different paint. You know?
Phil, it's not like you don't understand. Like, nowadays it's just not possible. Sponsorship costs way too much. There's no way one sponsor is going to dish out all that money for the full year. It's not going to happen.
No.
But there used to be multiple commercials on TV with different drivers. There used to be NASCAR done commercials with drivers, not with racetracks and like old race footage, but like with actual drivers.
Napa is a perfect
Budweiser,
example.
Home Depot, Lowe's, like they all implemented their drivers into it. I still think the funniest damn commercials were the Nextel commercials.
The Nextel ones are, I always like the Mobile One ones with Kevin Harvick, where he was mini Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, the Mobile One ones, but like the Nextel ones where like it's Elliott Sadler talking to Jimmy Johnson. He's like, Jimmy, you're just, you're not getting to that corner good enough. You just got to bring that up a little bit. And he pulls out the Nextel. I'm going to need it again. Nextel Cup trophy comes out. I'm sorry, Elliott. What were you saying again? And he's like, good talk, Jimmy.
And then you got Boom Confetti. Don't forget Boom Confetti.
Boom Confetti. There was the they were backing up into Stewart's car. I can't remember if it was like Jeremy Mayfield or somebody, where he's like, back it up a little more. It's the hauler backing up and it crushes Stewart's car. Like those were awesome commercials.
Remember the one with the haulers going across country racing each other from
Hendrick recreated it this week.
Yeah. This week?
Yeah, it was this week they recreated it.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like if I pull it up on here, I'll get copyrighted by somebody. So I'm not even going to pull it up, but look at their page.
No, but I mean, like you said, you can't keep saying back in the day, but I think the sport was way more relatable. I mean, I get where they're going, and I get they're trying to enhance the sport, and everything's got to move on. I'm not trying to sound like a boomer here, but
it's the other word I've been trying to avoid. But like,
I had to throw it out there.
Call me what you're gonna call me, I guess.
But the sport was much more relatable back, even in the early 2010s. Now it's not. It's people like me and people like you are the minority right now that know what needs to be done, and just it pisses us off because same shit's gonna happen. Instead we're gonna announce that we put a piece of fabric underneath one of the freaking roof flaps to keep the cars from going upside down this week. What lap does Ryan Preece go upside down? That's going to be one of our bets for this week's show.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's that goes back to the whole underbody thing. And if you rip that underbody off, I wonder if the cars would go over as easily as they do, man.
I mean,
the underbody needs to be there. That's just.
But the problem is you can't really say that because the cars, even the Xfinity cars, are still going up in the air. Even the trucks are still going up in the air.
Right. It's an unfortunate consequence of going fast. That's what we've always said.
Right. But I don't think that's helping. I don't think it's making it any better.
Oh, it turns it into a freaking airplane, man.
Mm-hmm. There's nowhere for air to go.
Oh, geez. Trucks are at Texas next week. But if anybody can put on a good show there, it's the trucks. It's just that, like I said, this has been a ranting episode. There's a lot of frustrations going on. That off week last week could not come soon enough. It's just, you know, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's tough. It's really tough.
It's tough when you know what the product is week after week.
Yeah.
It's like eating bologna sandwiches over and over again.
We're
Eventually,
comparing it to bologna sandwiches now.
you just want turkey, dog. I don't know. That was just random thought.
I don't know why this thing won't let me share it on Facebook. I don't know. Oh, there we go. I can share it that way.
But like back to the whole thing, you could get rid of the next gen car completely. Okay.
Right.
Knock the Cup Series down to the Xfinity Series, the Xfinity guys down to the Truck Series down to the ARCA Series. Boom, we're done. ARCA guys can go back to late models where most of them fucking belong.
My headphones are falling off.
Some of them guys I think belong in like Bombers or something, dude. I don't even think they belong in ARCA. But like,
Phil, run the show for a little bit. I gotta see why this dog's going nuts.
I could do that. I'll
Give
go
me a
back.
second.
We'll go through the results from Rockingham from last week. So we talked about Jesse Love won, but got DQ'd. So Sammy Smith took the win. Parker Retzlaff had a good run in the 4 car. Harrison Burton finishing third. Good run for him. Brennan Poole. Top 4 guys, really, other than Sammy Smith. The other guys are pretty big surprise. Taylor Gray, 5th. Austin Hill, my buddy Josh Williams coming home 7th. Jeb Burton, 8th. Daniel Dye, 9th. Jeremy Clements, 10th. Dean Thompson ran up front. I think he won the stage, won stage 2. Brandon Jones, Connor Zillich, Casey Kane had a couple run-ins with a bunch of different stuff. Finished 14th. Alfredo, Carson Quapple, Josh Balicki, Sieg, Emmerling, Kyle Sieg, Allgaier, Smithley, Eckes, Vicente Salas finished 24th. William Sawalich, 25th. He hit everything but the pace car, I think.
Patrick and I were discussing that earlier. I think old Leg's getting a bad. I don't think that was her fault. I really don't.
In all actuality, I think that the closing rate there was fast, but I don't think she did anything wrong. She held her line. I mean, she stayed right where she needed to.
She did more than some of the other non-driving fucks would have done.
Oh, dude.
Oh, do you want to present Big Junk for Bristol? Who the hell was Big Junk for Bristol?
NASCAR?
Sheldon Creed, that's right.
NASCAR?
No, remember we were saying Sheldon Creed.
NASCAR for the tire.
Not Sheldon Creed, Brennan Poole.
Brennan Poole and Sheldon Creed together for that wreck. Brennan Poole more was the cause of the wreck, but.
And then what were we saying for Rockingham? I mean, we got to throw Rockingham in here.
I mean, I think Sawalich gets a good vote for me. I think he was in 2 or 3 different wrecks.
Gonna be Casey Kane.
Could be Casey Kane on a stellar weekend for Casey Kane.
Listen, I got my own personal views on Casey Kane that don't necessarily reflect everybody's. It's just my own personal thing about it, but
these views are of AJ, not of
I
the Clean Air Show in
digress.
general.
We got a lot of viewers right now, man. I don't want to piss off anybody. We've got a lot of eyes on this.
But no, I thought
Carson
overall
was gonna have a good run at the Rock,
I
but
thought
sadly didn't.
The Xfinity race was a decent product. I thought, the strategy with fuel mileage. See, that I don't mind the strategy with fuel mileage in the Xfinity series. It's great. But when you get the guys in the Cup cars like at Talladega running 3 wide, just sitting there at 3/4 throttle, that's not racing. That's horseshit. Horseshit. That's the best way I can put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that kind of piggybacks off of what I said earlier. They're going to sit here when they go 4 wide, maybe even 5 wide on Sunday, and tell you, man, this is great racing right now. This is phenomenal. You can't see this anywhere else in the world. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can. Go out to whatever your local interstate is and just go watch them during rush hour, because all they're doing is fuel saving. Like, that's it. Ain't nobody stepping out of line to go try to get to the front. They're just sitting there waiting their time till the stage ends. This is why earlier, Phil, I told you, at plate tracks, we can start with eliminating the stage caution at plate tracks.
Now, here's a question, and this is just a hypothetical, but don't you remember when we limited how big the fuel tanks were?
Mm-hmm.
What if we did that again?
What, go to a bigger fuel tank?
I mean, I understand like 22 gallons seems like a lot, but
I mean, at this point, you might as well just shorten the damn races. Because for a fact, what is it, 188 laps? For 150 of them on Sunday, it's going to be that. And then it's just going to be all chaos. But notice, at the end of the race, it'll be 2 wide. It'll be 2 wide all the way up till the final lap. Someone will step out of line, and it'll be big junk behind them.
May even be single file.
It may even be single file.
I mean, the last few races, you think about it, coming to like 2 or 3 to go, most of the time they were single file, just starting to make a move.
Right.
But Xfinity, you'll see them racing hard, lap after lap.
Which is nice, because that's a shorter race, so they're always to the wall. It was good seeing Casey back. Yeah, it was great seeing Casey Kane back in NASCAR.
Don't sound so excited. He had an awesome throwback scheme.
I think Casey Kane the person is fine. I think Casey Kane the driver, when it came to NASCAR, lacked a little bit.
Just say it.
Got lucky a couple times.
Say it.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to piss people off today.
It's a common phrase in here. We haven't really said it much in the show.
Oh, if we're going to do that one of these days, if we get like a random day where we sit here and decide to do it, we're going to have a tier list of non-driving fucks.
We could be here for days.
We could be here for days. We'll have to go by series. But it's not like everybody on the list can't drive. Like, we'll have the tiers, like they can drive, they can kind of drive, they kind of can't drive, and they're a non-driving fuck.
Michael Waltrip, non-driving fuck, got lucky a couple times. I mean, you gotta have a category in there for that.
And just understand, our opinions of them on the racetrack are different than our opinions of them off the track.
Oh, I love Michael Waltrip. Think he's great for the sport. Everything he does. Had a nice little
took a picture with us.
Yeah, had a nice little chat with him. Thanked him for everything he did. Listen, that's the difference between me and AJ. We don't get autographs. We take pictures with people, and then we have conversations and thank them for what they do in the sport. And dude, the look on their face when you actually say shit like that, they're amazed, because most of the time all they hear is how much of a piece of shit they are, or whatever.
Dude, I'm just so thankful Bubba stopped, took a picture with us this year, because he brushed us off last year.
Oh, dude, he ran from us last year. Ran.
No, man, we're not like that.
We caught him at a better time this year. It wasn't like right before he was getting in his car when he's like, yeah, screw these two. Bearded guys.
Didn't you chase Joey Logano down to a bathroom?
I walked in next to him, dude. Took a picture with him at the freaking urinal. Ain't no shame.
Oh man, dude! The funniest thing at Homestead this year, I thought, was when I had to go use the bathroom right before the drivers' meeting. So I walked up to the little bathroom on the back lot of the garage area, and all it is crew guys, wall to wall, all the way around the damn building. And I'm like, "Yeah, this ain't happening." I just turned around and walked away. I mean, it was wrapped around the building on each side. Like,
What else we got to talk about? Anything else?
I mean, do you want to go over the All-Star format at all? We can talk about it, I guess, a little bit. I haven't actually gone over it, just hit on the one thing. I gotta pull up the
I got it right here. Eligibility: 24 and 25 NASCAR Cup Series point race winners, past All-Star race winners who compete full-time, and NASCAR Cup Series champions who compete full-time.
Okay.
Friday will be practice and open and all-star qualifying and pit crew challenge. Saturday is truck race. They're going to run the heats. So it'll be heat 1 and heat 2. Sunday will be the all-star open and then the all-star race. Give me a second. I got to zoom in here. Okay, All-Star Open qualifying, normal 3 laps, including pit stop. Open cars will go first in the order, and qualifying speeds will determine lineup for the Open. Competitors take the green, run 1 full lap at speed. On the second lap, will proceed maintaining pit road speed while on pit road to one of 2 NASCAR designated pit stalls for a 4-tire stop, no fuel. When the stop's complete, cars will exit pit road, maintaining pit road speed, and race back to the checkered. Qualifying time will be the total time from green to checkered. Fastest all-star qualifier will start on the pole for heat 1 and also the all-star race. Heat races, 60 laps, all laps count, overtime rules in effect with 1 attempt. Results of heat 1 establish inside row. Results of heat 2 establish outside row. Blah, blah, blah. All-Star Open, 100 laps. All laps count. Overtime rule in effect. 1 attempt. Competition caution at or around lap 40. Top 2 finishers transfer to the All-Star and also a fan vote as normal. All-Star race is 250 laps with all laps counting. Overtime rules in effect, which I'm assuming means they don't have any restrictions on how many green, white checkers. Competition break on or around lap 100 with an optional promoter's caution that must be executed prior to lap 220. If the promoter's caution has not been executed and a natural caution occurs after lap 200, the optional caution will no longer be in play. Then you've got the manufacturer showdown, which is manufacturer team. Chevy, Ford, Toyota will be equally represented. Members per team will be determined by the least represented manufacturer, and an equal number of drivers from the other 2 manufacturers will be selected based on their all-star grid starting positions. Teams will be scored against each other and not by their overall finish. The lowest combined total of finishing positions will be the winning manufacturer. In the event of a tie, the best overall finishing positions will determine the winner.
That still confuses me. Even hearing you say it, I'm confused.
It's like you said, it's another gimmick.
It's just gimmicks, man. It's I don't know. I'm holding out hope that they do something with the car. I don't care what gimmick you run, just do something with the car that makes it interesting. Whether it's, spring adjustments, removal of the tapered spacer, adding more horsepower, do something. Because if it works at North Wilkesboro, it'll work at every other damn track there is.
You know, we're trying out this option tire deal.
Hell, give them 3 options.
Be like IndyCar, soft, intermediate, hard. Let's make that. You'd see the guys on soft tires going balls to the wall.
Until they're not.
Till they're not. But that's part of the strategy. But that it's better than everybody riding around in a single file line.
Yeah, I'm just I don't want to go back on a rant again. I'm feeling too good now. I think I nailed it. We bitch because we care.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's like I said, I'm back to being more of a fan than anything now. You know, I have no affiliation. I have nothing. I'm here as a fan, and it's at the point where now it's getting old. It's the same repetitive thing over and over again. The product is not different. It's like watching reruns.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think we've hit everything tonight.
I think so.
I just want to, again, thank absolutely everybody that tuned in. You've made this the most viewed Clean Air Show live that we've had. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Make sure you follow the page on Twitter at Clean Air Show. Just type it in, follow it. We're almost to 100 followers on there, which is a huge milestone for us.
And Sunday at noon, we'll be right here again. So tune back in, give us some more, put some more feedback in. Like, we're always open. Patrick will tell you, Tate will tell you, these guys have been here since day one, putting in with us. And these guys we respond to pretty much every comment that's put on any part of our social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever. We try to answer every question or get to everybody's point for the most part.
Yeah, we pretty much anything that you guys bring up, we try to talk about at some point during the show or fit it in some point in the show. At YouTube, we're at like 25 subscribers or something like that. We're trying to hit 100 at least by season's end. You know, it's a goal that we set for ourselves. So subscribe to us on there. Every time you subscribe and thumbs up it gets the show out there to more people that haven't seen us, and it's just a way to help us grow. We do our NASCAR fantasy, which we'll dive into on Sunday on our normal show, which will be back on our regular X Twitter page on Sunday. You can catch us there again at Clean Air Show. We're giving away stuff at the end of this season to whoever finishes 1, 2, and 3. We're doing a giveaway on that. We've got the Discord, like Phil said earlier. Again, message me directly at the tag below on Twitter, and I'll get that out there to you.
We're working on putting some stuff together on iRacing as well for the people with iRacing.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some stuff. Phil and I have been talking about on there too. That would be an absolute blast to get some people with. Stay tuned for some actual video content at races coming up once we get all that stuff in. Just thank you to everybody. Thanks to Cody for letting us use the Left Turn Cult page tonight, getting more eyes on us. Thanks to all those guys who, a bunch of them are close friends of Phil and I's at this point.
Great guys.
All of them, great guys. And we talked about Dr. Jerry Petty earlier, or I did before Phil got here. Just everything that guy did for the sport. You know, rest in peace.
Huge medical person in the sport.
Patrick, just want to say, going back to your comment earlier, our heart goes out with you. We're there for you. Sorry for the passing of your dad. Glad you're getting through it pretty good, and we're happy to see you here every week.
Sorry for your loss, buddy.
I think with that has nailed our show for the week. Here's how we end it every week with our old pal Victor. Take it away, Victor. We'll catch you guys on Sunday, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Talladega pre-race show. We're out of here. Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good week.